Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is April the 7th, 2021, and today the topic is supernatural unity. First, let me say that friends, little do you all know, I'll be honest and let you guys know that you almost did not have a juice this morning. Shout out to the one person that's watching. Oh, Tawheed, good morning. Good morning, Tawheed. But yeah, you guys almost did not have a juice this morning. By the grace of God, he woke me up at 5:20, y'all. 5:20. So if you guys want to look that up and look up those Bible verses, you surely can. I did, and there was some good ones in there, everything like that. I thought that perhaps that would be the topic because I woke up so late. But I decided to go ahead and do my prayer and meditation anyway, with the Soul Space app, as you guys know that I do. And then got a little something special with that. So, well, the first thing I noticed about it is that the topic, I guess you would say, or the phrase that was on the artwork of the prayer and meditation for today, the thing that stood out to me is that it said perfect unity is not about trusting each other, but trusting Jesus. So that stood out to me. And then I did the prayer and meditation and listened and, everything like that. And so, definitely a little bit more clarity of the situation, as well as one thing that stuck with me is the last words that the guy said, and she said supernatural unity. So I looked this up in regards to the Bible verses, and so here we are. And but yeah, like before I get into it, I just want to say again, I just thank God for waking me up this morning. I thank God for leading me in my right mind. I thank God for allowing me to see another day and allowing me to be consistent and diligent and everything to the point of where I am still here doing the juice and I'm still quote unquote on time or early because I've said to myself that I wanted to have a juice out by 6. And, and you guys probably know, those of you that listen to me and follow me, that are live with me, like Tawheed right now. Y'all know I pretty much record early, or whatever. But, so sometimes I record like around 5 or something like that, because that's by the time, because I get up at 4 usually. But anyway, with all that being said, I just thank and praise God that, still here. Yes, please touch and agree with me on this. Thank you, Tawheed, for that. So here we go, y'all. 1 Peter 3:8 says, finally, all of you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. As I was reading some of the verses that came up as I looked up supernatural unity, some of them I've talked about before, because I know I've talked about unity before, but, these are the ones that stood out to me today, and maybe I was being purposeful about choosing different ones. There was a couple that stood out to me that I know I've shared with you guys here on the juice before, so I was like, let me just put those in the go deeper section, the first two that stood out to me. But yeah, this one that I just shared with you guys, 1 Peter 3:8, that was something that stood out to me that I know I haven't shared with you guys on here before, that I can remember, because it's been over a year, y'all. But anywho, now next, what stood out to me was Ephesians 4:13. But when I read it, of course, it was one of those verses that seemed unfinished. So I went to go check it out. And as I was reading some of the verses centered around that verse, I was kind of felt led to just tell you guys, hey, read the entire Ephesians 4. So that is in your Go Deeper section as well, the entire Ephesians 4. But the verses that stood out to me was Ephesians 4:14 and 15. And they say, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ. So that, to me this morning, even after reading this here now and just reflecting on this supernatural unity, and also again reflecting on the fact that, the unity isn't necessarily about trusting each other, but again trusting Jesus. I'm being shown in this little moment here personally that it seems that Christ is the unifying factor of all of us, that of all men, of all people, of all different types and everything like that. And so that's the thing, that's what it's supposed to be. So again, as that verse said, we don't be going to and fro and here and there and and carried away by every doctrine and different thought that people may have. At the end of the day, again, if Christ is the unifying factor, then yeah, this is what, again, brings us all together in regards to, different types of people and everything like that. So, yeah, that's something to think about and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But here's another verse here. It says Ephesians 1:10, as a plan for the fullness of time to unite all things in him, things in heaven and things on earth. So again, this is like, this was the plan from the beginning of time. The way to unite all things, heaven and earth, was through Jesus. So it's just something to think about today, because a lot of people say they want to, they want world peace, right? People say they want world peace. People say they want unity. You see different groups of people unifying here and there, but to truly have unity of all, Jesus needs to be at the center. That is the main message of what I'm getting today. So, again, I know that's, on one hand, it seems very straightforward. It seems very, like an easy thing, but for some reason this is difficult. But I think that comes down to belief. I think that comes down to, whether people want to believe and want to, I guess, do the will of God and everything like that. I believe that those people that do want to do that, they do. And, but yeah, has the, I said, the great theologian Lauren Hill says, it can all be so simple, but we may rather make it hard, as they say. I don't know, y'all. That's just something to think about today. To be honest, one of the things that woke me up this morning, I had a dream. Now I don't fully remember every part of it, but the part that kind of woke me up was something along the lines of like, I can't even explain it right now. Not enough to be like, really tell you guys, especially here on the podcast. But maybe if something comes back to my remembrance, I might talk about it in the after show today, but we'll see. But the dream is kind of one of the things that woke me up. And then again, when I looked at the time and saw that it was 5:20, even though I still looked up Bible centered around it, I was like, man, what happened to my time? So I think somehow maybe yesterday I must have used my alarm. I used the alarm that I usually do. I probably changed it to set an alarm last night for what I was doing last night. Basically, long story short, I ended up filming an episode of GSL last night. Powerful testimony that you guys, I guess, are going to witness maybe in a few weeks. But yeah, we filmed it last night and everything like that, and which ran pretty late or whatever. But yeah, so I guess somehow I think I must have I took off my normal alarm, so that's, I guess, why I didn't wake up on time. But I reset it, so all is well. And but yeah, that's something to think about, friends. So the Bible verse of today is Colossians 4:6. It says, "Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man." Y'all let that marinate today. I mean, again, supernatural unity. At the end of the day, I hesitate to even share with you guys or like tell you guys how to look at that last verse, and how it fits well with the rest of it. To me, it fits well with the rest of what I've said here. Even going back to the first verse of having the unity of mind and sympathy and brotherly love and a tender heart and humble mind. I guess one thing to think about today, if I do leave you with something to think about in regards to the Bible verse of today, is that, well, we all know that we're all different, right? We're different races. There's men, there's women, there's a lot of differences. So, and there's a lot of different people, and all of us think different, all of us act different, all of us are different. So you can't necessarily, talk to someone in the same way that you can talk to another person. Like I've noticed that. Like there's some friends that I've been able to just be open and honest with and just, tell the truth, and even truth and love and everything like that. But then there's been some people that I've had to kind of either hold back a little bit, or I've had to like figure out a way to communicate with in a way that they would understand and wouldn't take offense to automatically and things like that. And so that's what I'm kind of hearing as I read this verse today in regards to, again, it says, "Let your speech be always with grace," and everything like that. At the end of the day, like I think I was talking about yesterday, and just the thing to think about is that we all needed that grace, right? We all needed what Jesus did on the cross. We all needed that. And so because of that, we're all humbled. That's why it says, we all have sinned and fallen short. So none of us can sit here and act as if we're high and mighty. And none of us can sit here and be like, and treating someone else as if they're less than. And so because of that, we need to, again, if I'm looking at this verse here, with our speech in particular, we got to learn how to talk to different people, and learn how to talk to different people. Again, remember your own testimony. Remember that. And that should, allow you to extend some grace to others as well. So, but then again, and if I sum it all back up with the phrase that stood out to me this morning, and again, understanding that it's not about trusting each other. This whole thing about perfect unity and communication, all this stuff, it's not about each other. It's more about trusting God, Christ Jesus, what he did and what he said. Trusting that enough to do the work, to do his will, and to And one of the things I was led to pray as I was doing my prayer meditation, that the guide, I would say, led me to pray, was that we find a unity, and I might be saying it wrong, so my apologies for that, but we find the unity that Christ and his Father had, which I felt like was just a powerful thing, because we all know that. I mean, well, if you read the Bible, then you know that Jesus and the Father are one, and well, with the Spirit as well. And again, that is something that I don't know if we can really wrap our heads around or understand. I know there's plenty of like descriptions out there that tries to get it. I want to say like the one on the Bible app. If you look up like Trinity, I think it is. I'm going to put that in the Go Deeper section. Trinity on the Bible app. No, not the Bible app. The Bible Project. The Bible Project on YouTube. Or you can just Google Bible Project and you can go to their website in particular. If you watch that video about the Trinity, that might be probably one of the best explanations that I've heard that tries to explain that situation to us in the terms that we understand. But yeah, that is some type of unity when you really think about it. So that's just something to think about, y'all. That's supernatural unity. That is the juice. I hope you guys enjoyed it this morning. And thank you so much for listening. I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. If you like what you hear, then consider supporting our podcast. Every listener that supports us for $9.99 a month will be entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win a free gift. So become a supporter today.